And we are live, Sunday's Media Football Show, Sunday preview, doing it on a Saturday night. We said that last night. Just a little bit easier with the schedule to get it in the night before, and we'll blast it out again tomorrow morning for everyone to see. As you all know, I mean, I feel like most of the audience gets this from Twitter, just based off what I see and the amount of people viewing, and then when I look at our YouTube views. So I'll go back to second base, Lindor. I got the Mets game on here. Anyways, so we will retweet it. Watching it live is not the only way to watch. You can watch a rerun, hypothetically, on YouTube the next day. So, Jerry, week one, my prediction was correct yesterday. The Chargers ended up beating the Chiefs. Another year that the Chiefs start out 0-1. I don't think they're going to skip a beat. It's one loss. It's the first week of the season.
They were in Brazil. Don't forget about
that.
They
were
in
in Brazil. Which, honestly, if you're a Chargers fan, my buddy Frankie is, this was great, right? Like, I wouldn't call it stealing a win, right? Like, both teams had to play on a shitty field. They had to travel to Brazil. Both teams dealt with the same thing. They're both pretty much coming from the same time zone, maybe an hour difference, flying into Brazil. And this is the NFL. You have to roll with the punches. You have to roll with, some of the things that the league is going to throw at you. That definitely sucks. Jerry, what is on your mind right now? Are you
based on
still
last
kind
night?
of thinking about last night? Yeah.
So just real quick, playing both sides of the fence worked out in my favor. Chiefs did not cover the spread, evidently, but the little 4 or 5 leg bullshit parlay I threw together cashed. I went to bed at halftime. I slipped into my NyQuil coma, like I said I was going to on the show, and it worked out wonders because I woke up at 7 a.m., rolled over, checked my phone, and saw that Travis Kelce did indeed score a touchdown. Lat McConkey had like 8 or 10 catches, and I juiced up the under a little bit, but I think it either just went under or just went over. I don't remember what the official line was set at. The total points was 48 on the day. I don't know if it was 48.5 or 47.5, but long and short, I got a nice little payday out of that one, so I was happy. It's a good man. What I saw, it felt a lot like watching the Philly game in a sense of the minute they lost Xavier Worthy. So I only really caught the second quarter in full, and the minute they lost, the minute they we found out Xavier Worthy was down on this show was, I think Zach broke the news, and you were able to notice an immediate impact, at least for me, just as far as who he has to throw to. He was throwing to Hollywood still being Hollywood and dropping balls that he should be catching. Left and right. You would think at this point now he's a veteran. I think he's a 6-year veteran at this point now. You think he might want to correct that, but I don't know. Still flying off of, I don't know if it's good enough to say, but he's still Antonio Brown's cousin, and it's probably worth a little bit of clout in the NFL. But he has, so it's Hollywood Brown. Mecole Hardman's not there anymore. Who else do they have?
They had Worthy. They had Worthy, who injured Worthy.
Yeah. I saw that hit too. That was a hit. That was a hell of a hit.
That was a hit.
And then you saw them lean on Kareem Hunt too, which is cool to see. He seems to be their they used the both times I saw him get used, because again I only watched the second quarter, but both times I saw him get used, he was the fourth down back, and he ran both times on fourth down. One of them being dicey on their own like 35 or 40 or something like that in their own territory, and got them the first and then some both times. And he's looking like he hasn't lost a beat. It'd be cool to see him in the mix. Probably won't be a committee per se, but I can definitely see him stealing some like red zone carries from Pacheco.
Mm-hmm. Chargers aired it out a lot. I mean, I same thing. I only watched first half. I had to be up at about 4:45 this morning to go to work, so I was not able to sit down and watch the whole thing. But first half, they were airing it out and they were going deep. That's where I was wrong. I really thought they were going to ground and pound. I thought they were going to run the ball hard, and they did the opposite. They were throwing on, I thought running downs, second and 10, First and 10, second and 10, they're coming out throwing, which was definitely different from a Jim Harbaugh team.
Here's the thing, though. I didn't get a chance to really go into it last night, but with the rookie running back, I know I gave him his flowers last night, but having Omari and Hampton go against that Chiefs front line, that's like, you want to talk about trial by fire. Welcome to the NFL, bro. Now, fucking eat your shit type deal. That's what that would have been. And I think I could be really wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what impacted the game plan. And that's why you saw Herbert air it out. And now going into week 2, they're going to be like, all right, word. Justin's going to throw the ball every which way he possibly can. And they're going to be sleeping on Mario Hampton. And then you're going to watch him have a big week 2. And maybe I'm just, projecting here for fantasy purposes and whatnot, but I can definitely see that being the case.
One thing I am noticing about this week, which I don't know if this is a thing every year, week 1. You got a lot of divisional games. Lions, Packers, Bucks, Falcons, Giants, Commanders, Bengals, Browns, Niners, Seahawks. What else? Monday night, Vikings, Bears.
Yeah, that's good.
And Chiefs, Chargers was divisional. Cowboys, Eagles was divisional. I
don't think that's I don't want to say it's not the norm, but I think they might have taken a page out of college's book where it's like, all right, week 1's here. Everybody's been chomping at the bit for how many months now? Let's give the people like matchups. Cowboys, Eagles Thursday night was a sick game. It had no business being as good as it was, minus the lightning delay. You got fucking, I guess this is a divisional game, but Sunday night football, week 1, Ravens, Bills. That's the AFC Championship game, possibly. Packers, Lions is a sick game at 4:00.
Well, you know what I think the NFL realized is like week 1's always ugly now that starters aren't playing in the preseason, right? So why don't we take some of the most talented team? Like if for example, if the Ravens and Bills have to play each other this year because that's the way the schedule works out, why not do it week 1? And yes, that is really exciting to have to be a December Sunday night game. I do understand and agree with that because that's 2 teams making the playoff push. But instead of watching Texans, Jaguars, or Dolphins, fucking Saints, right? Like we're getting Ravens, Bills out the gate. We're getting Lions, Packers out the gate. Buccaneers, Falcons might be a sneaky good 1:00 game. If you're a red zone guy, it's probably going to be quite a bit of your red zone coverage, right? I mean,
there's no commercials.
I don't think the Steelers and Jets are going to be in the red zone a whole lot.
Whoa, listen.
I could be wrong. Why don't we dive right into that?
Okay.
Or do you want to get into something softer and kind of ramp yourself up to?
No, I'll rip the Band-Aid off right now. I've been chomping at the bit. Here's the thing, Pask. It's been 6 months now since
you have a
we've
beer,
last.
By the way? You have beer?
No, I have a water. I have a water because I'm sick. I'm still going to take a night.
I thought we were going to have beers for the show.
I mean, we can have some waters. There's nothing wrong with some good, clean, sober fun. It's okay. Yeah. You don't need beer I just had this long, lengthy chat in my group chat about how we don't need beer to have a good time. Sounded like a pussy, but it's the truth. It's the truth. I'm sick, and if I have a beer tonight, I might get some looks from the woman upstairs. And I'd rather not have, and I'm going to save my beers for tomorrow, where I did everything I had to do.
You got to pick your battles.
I'm going to be an absolute piece of garbage tomorrow.
Yeah,
rotting up. I'm going to go to the gym in the morning. I'm going to go to the grocery store, get what I need, and just rot on the couch from fucking 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. and watch the Sunday night game. I cannot wait. Anyways, it's been a long 7 months, right? Or 6-7 months, whatever it has been since February, since we've had meaningful football on TV. And I've been just trying to fill the void here. I started watching fucking soccer, dude. I got an EPL team now. That's how desperate I've gotten for something to just grasp onto. Listen, soccer's better than you think it is. We have this whole.
It's not.
I like soccer for the lack of advertisements, which is we talked about it last night. With
It's
the
all
NFL.
over their jersey. I don't know the team name.
I don't give a fuck
I don't
about
know the
jersey.
team name, but I know who sponsors them.
That's fine. I'd
But
rather
it's-
have 45 minutes of nonstop action with no commercials and look at a little bit of advertisements on shirts than a commercial every 2 minutes. Anyways, I digress. I've been reading. I've been watching soccer. I've been doing a lot of things to fill the void, and
Jerry,
it's finally
Steelers
here.
Jets.
Steelers Jets. Here we are. Okay,
Let's get into
Steelers
it.
Jets. Here's the fact of the matter, dude. We got your guy here coming in now, and the culture is just
Oh, my
different.
God.
And not your guy.
Oh wait, I thought we were talking about making fun of Aaron Rodgers.
No, I was talking about Aaron Glenn.
Aaron Glenn. Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm talking about Aaron Glenn.
That's my guy.
I think Aaron Glenn came in, and we saw it in the offseason where he immediately put his foot down and said, listen, we're just not doing this. We saw it with Rodgers, whatever. This could have been a phone call, whatever. And if it was a phone call, you would have bitched and moaned about it being a phone call, not being called in face-to-face. Fuck you. Listen, I did my due diligence to be on that man's side. I worked as hard as I could, and it was going great. And then towards the end, little by little, we saw the wheels fall off. And if you go back and you watch each week at the Sunny Days media show, you'll see me start with just a glimmer in my eye, ready to go, ready to fucking ride this man's coattail into battles by week 13, 14. I think you were yelling at me like, this is what he always does. He does the same shit on every team, right? And I think that's what it's good. I think now the Steelers are going to be that. They're going to be, unfortunately, fall victim to that, but I also think that Tomlin might not have any of that. So we're going to see what happens there. But going back to the Jets here, we got a complete culture change. We really, really did. And it's pretty evident in the fact that, hey, we're not going to be leaning on Breece Hall in the run game anymore. Like, obviously, he's our number one. Everyone knows that, but we're going to do this by committee. We have help. We don't have to ride you, every single down, just north to south into the defensive line every single time. Now we have Braylon Allen to pick up some of the slack, which is going to be great. He's dynamic in his own right. I think he's going to be awesome. And then on top of that, we touched upon it last night briefly. We have the Ohio State connection now with Justin Fields and Garrett Wilson. Personally, for me, Garrett Wilson's one of those guys who was always kind of sneaky productive where he puts up 1,200 yard seasons, but it's not like flashy. He's not like Jefferson or Jamar Chase or anything like that where you don't recognize him as being the guy, but he's the guy on the Jets.
He's a lunch pail guy.
Yeah. He's going to grind out his catches.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see what happens there. The one problem I foresee happening is that after Wilson, we have no other pass catchers. Our wide receiver 2 is Alan Lazard. We still have Aaron Rodgers' leftovers from back, 2 years ago when we made that big push to, basically become the Green Bay Jets. And Alan Lazard can be good when he wants to be, but his numbers for, the fact of the matter is he hasn't been producing as he did the year before we signed him in Green Bay. Because if memory recalls correctly, he was a force to be reckoned with. He was a very good wide receiver, and he just got here and it's kind of laying eggs left and right. And then after that, forget about it. It drops way, way downhill. So I expect to see heavy workload to Garrett Wilson, and then also you have the checkdown's going to be to Breece, or as you said before, we're going to watch Justin Fields, scramble with the ball and run around with a chicken with head cut off, which also might work to our benefit because he's fast.
All the credit in the world to Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn came in and, if any of you want to go down this road, I think we had a show week 18, or maybe it was the playoffs, I guess, or
where you said
playoffs.
that we're gonna he's the better of the candidates.
Yes. I think Aaron Glenn. I think Aaron Glenn's the better head coach. I think Ben Johnson. I think Aaron Glenn was was a bad defensive coordinator. Not bad, but not good. But I think he's a good head coach. And I think the opposite of Ben Johnson. I think Ben Johnson is a Matt Patricia type. I think he's the type of guy that was a tremendous coordinator in a system, in a culture that fit what he that he molded to, I guess. And I just don't know that he'll be able to implement that in Chicago. But we're not talking about Chicago. We're talking about the Jets and the Steelers. I commend what Aaron Glenn did. And I want to say I said this in one of the playoff shows. It might have been the NFC AFC Championship preview, with a Super Bowl preview we did. If we did a Super Bowl preview.
We did. We did, yeah.
So I had said that there was no way Aaron Glenn was going to tolerate this nonsense from Aaron Rodgers. And that's why I wish we had Pacino tonight, because
Yeah,
guys
I
were
wanna
bumping
talk
heads
to
with me
Pacino.
saying, no, he's talented. He's going to be here. Aaron Glenn did exactly what I thought he was going to do. And I think he did it the exact right way. Invite him there just to tell him, yeah, you're not going to be here. We're going to get rid of you. And I think that was the right thing, because, and maybe it's childish, but like, you know what? Fuck you. Because when the team needed you last year, you went to Egypt because you thought that was a good idea. And I think the Jets are in a better place for it. Do I think the Jets will win on Sunday? I don't know. But I think 4 years from now, 3 years from now, 2 years from now, I think the New York Jets will be in a significantly better position than the Pittsburgh Steelers will be. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are in a step above purgatory. They've got some ball players, but they're aging. Cameron Hayward's like 37. Aaron Rodgers was great 8 years ago, 7 years ago, maybe. He doesn't have it anymore. We saw it with the Jets, and it's not that much different with the Steelers. A little bit better of an offensive line. Maybe you could tell me, and actually you could, that DK Metcalf is a better number one than Garrett Wilson. Okay.
I will endorse that.
Okay. Outside of that, Aaron Rodgers is still a douche. He's not a guy that's well-liked. He's not a guy that guys want to block for, play for, be around. And I think he's toxic. And I think Pittsburgh brought in, Pittsburgh is just, you brought in Russell Wilson, who was toxic in Denver. And now you're bringing in Aaron Rodgers, who was toxic in Green Bay, to then be traded to New York to be toxic in New York. Do I think all of the Jets' problems for the past 2 years stem from Aaron Rodgers? Absolutely not. No, it starts from ownership and comes down. However, Rodgers did not help. He did nothing to help this franchise for the past 2 years. You want to throw out year one, that's fine. I don't know who's going to win. I think Mike Tomlin's a better head coach. He's got a lot more experience than Aaron Glenn. So I think the Steelers may win. They probably will win. They should win, right? MetLife is like playing at a neutral site. So, there's going to be a lot of Steelers fans in this game. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of Jet fans, loud. But who wins this game? I don't know. But if you're a Jet fan, stick it out. I think 2, 3, 4 years from now, you'll be in you'll be in a better situation. Hopefully the quarterback position by then is decided and understood. And for right now, I think you're in a great spot with Justin Fields.
So do
right?
I.
He's a bridge quarterback. If things work out, they work out great. You re-sign him. If they don't work out, you move on. There's no lost money. There's no lost picks. I love Justin Fields. I don't really know what he is as a starter, because you see flashes of brilliance and then you see bonehead interceptions, but he hasn't really.
You can't tell me that he did not look good the first 3 weeks.
He didn't look great. Let's not act like he was throwing. I think he threw for 4 touchdowns in 6 games. That's not great. But
I don't care about his stats. I want to know.
All right. He looked okay, and I think Jet fans, you're in it for the long haul. You're in it to see the team. I think, fuck making the playoffs. Just hope to see a better team come December 10th. What's opening day tomorrow? The 7th.
No, September
Hope
7th.
to see a significantly better team December 7th than you saw September 7th. And that may mean that you're a 6-win, 7-win team. That's what that might mean. And that's okay, because guys get hurt. Games don't end the way you thought. The referees are still terrible, so calls will be missed. So just I think that's the goal as a Jet fan this year, and I think Aaron Glenn will get you there. I think they've got to be patient. It's not going to be done overnight. This is a guy that's a big culture guy. He's a calming presence in the room. Is he a great play caller? No. That's not why you brought him here. You brought him here to steady the ship. And you know what, Jet fans? Aaron Glenn may not even be the guy when it's all said and done. Like, when you get to a point when you're really good, he may not even still be your head coach. But he is like, I hope he's better than Jim Caldwell. But that's what he just reminds me of, a calming presence, that's not going to make dumb decisions, that's going to point this team in the right direction. And if the right people are hired around him, that could help him give him a boost.
But here's the thing, dude. Going back to what you said before with how he was an okay defensive coordinator, but he's going to be a good head coach. We haven't had a guy like that since you can make the argument for Todd Bowles, but probably Rex Ryan, right? Where it was like a bona fide head coach. Todd Bowles, the defensive
Rex Ryan
coordinator.
was a great coordinator, though.
No, I understand that, but he was also, I mean, I'm not going to call him a great head coach, but as a head coach,
He was
Rex
a solid
Ryan,
head coach.
Yeah,
No, he was a solid coach.
He knew what he was doing.
It came off the rails. And I have a lot of, I don't understand a lot of things about Rex Ryan's career. Like, he got that job in Buffalo, lost it after a year. That was weird. But we're not talking about the history of the NFL. We're talking about week one.
What I'm saying is, though, you look at Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles is a coordinator. You look at Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh is not even. I'm not even going to dignify him as a coordinator. He's a coach. He's not a coordinator. He's not a head coach. He's like a quarterback's coach. And then you got fucking Saleh, who's another defensive coordinator. And he's gonna. I bet Robert Saleh is going to do a great job in San Francisco. I think he's going to be tremendous. I think he knew how to run a defense. Todd Bowles obviously knows how to run a defense. We've seen that in Tampa Bay now for a couple of years, and that's really it. It's always been we're going to get a coordinator and we're going to do that. It's never been like we need a guy who, like you said before, can command the room, be the calming presence, and lead the charge. And I hope that's what we have at Aaron Glenn. I have, just because I've been I had some money in my pocket, I put $20 on the Jets to win more than 7.5 games.
You know what? If they've got 9 wins,
that's fine. I'm happy.
Season,
I am happy. We don't even need to get the wild card.
Remember what I'm saying to you now is if they've got 9 wins come the end of the season, or the second to last week, and they're a winning in, and they happen to not win, I don't want to hear same old Jets. No, dude, that's not what this year is about. This
better
year
than being 3-14.
This year is about building a culture. This year is about building a foundation for a great team, a great franchise, and it starts with this. Okay, if you told anyone 5 years ago, 6 years ago, hey, 2023 Lions are going to be in the NFC Championship and they will be regarded as a top 5 team in the NFL, everybody would have laughed you out of the room. Everybody would have said that's impossible. That's a terrible franchise. They can't figure anything out. Blah 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 blah. Here we are today. It could happen with the Browns. It could happen with the Bengals. It could happen with the Jets. It could happen with the Giants. Things can be turned around in under 5 years, but you gotta be able to stick with them. And as a fan base here in New York, and there's also tremendous pressure all the time from the papers and whatnot, and everybody else writing stories. But I'm just asking the fan base here, just be patient with this guy. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not a great roster. This is not a roster that strikes fear in anybody. It's not a coaching staff that strikes fear in anybody, right? It's going to take time. So just give it the time, and week one is just week one. So if you beat the Steelers, don't let it get you too high. If you lose to the Steelers, don't let it get you too low. This was a rebuilding year. Keep that in mind.
I want to bet on an Aaron Rodgers 3-and-out tomorrow, first drive.
First drive.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's it. But yeah, let's move on. Jets are gonna go 18-0, and it's gonna be tremendous, and we're gonna win a Super Bowl. Forget about everything he just said. All right, next game.
Giants Commanders. I want to get into next.
Sure.
This game's in Washington. Commanders are -6.5. The football world's pretty split on the Commanders. You've got half the people, and I think rightfully so. I'm in the mindset of until you prove me wrong, I'm gonna go with what I saw last year. And what I saw out of Jaden Daniels was some of the best quarterback play in the NFL. There are guys that are better, obviously, but he was fantastic. I think it's been a really long time since we saw a rookie come in, start week one. I don't know if he started week one, but start early and get progressively better and better and better and better and better throughout the season. Knocked off the Lions in the divisional round.
It's been fantastic. 3 years. The last time we saw that was CJ Stroud. I think
Okay.
CJ Stroud comparisons are pretty fair in this situation.
Well, a lot of guys have a sophomore slump.
Yes.
We've seen it with a lot of guys. And that's really what like half of the football world is predicting about Jaden Daniels, and the other half thinks they're just going to continue it. I'm leaning toward I don't think so. Like I think what we saw out of Jaden Daniels, we're going to continue to see. Would it shock me if he went into a sophomore slump? No. I think the Giants will be a little bit. They'll certainly be better than what we saw last year. Like this roster is just better. They've got an actual quarterback starting for them now. Like, do I think Russell Wilson's a world beater anymore? No, he's a shell of his former self.
Yeah.
But he can sling it. He can sling it, and he'll limit the turnovers. And he's a professional. And
that he is.
There's reason to be excited for Jackson Dart, and that starts coming at some point soon. Like I think
week 6.
You said week 6.
Week 6.
I think sometime before week 11 we're going to see it. It wouldn't shock me if the Giants go into Washington and win this game. And that's not me saying the Giants are a playoff team. Like I think Giant fans are. I think they're overrating this defense, but they're like kind of underrating the offense, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't think they're going to be scoring 30 points a game, but you've got Russell Wilson who doesn't really turn the ball over that much, like not in stupid ways. You know, you'll see it out of desperation late in the game, which is any quarterback. But like, if Russell's not throwing picks and you're averaging 4 yards a carry, and the defense is limiting teams to like 24, 25 points a game, you should be in a position to win 9, 10 games. Well, 8, 9 games here. 8 to 10. Let's be fair. 8 to 10, 8 to 11. You know, and like this is one of those games. The games in September matter as much as the games in December.
Yeah.
You win this game, you're looking a lot better to go to the playoffs. And once again, I don't think that they will, because I think the NFC is just so competitive. I mean, the NFC North potentially is going to send 3 more teams to the playoffs next year, which does not leave a lot of room for everyone else. The NFC South, we're going to have one thing, and that's it. The NFC West, if you're lucky, you get 2. I don't really know. You know what I mean? So I think the Giants will be better. Gun to my head, I'm going to take the Commanders, but it wouldn't shock. Like I don't know that the Commanders are going to cover the spread. Like they should. They should.
I think they're in a very similar situation to the Jets, like you were describing before. You know,
the Commanders or the Giants?
The Giants.
The Giants.
The Commanders are set. They kind of they straightened out their crooked path. You know, last 2 years now. The Giants, on the other hand, the only difference with the Giants is that the culture, for lack of a better term, is staying the same. Because Joe Shane is still there. You got Dable still there. Like it's the same regime, but you got now the talent that was always a problem. It's always we have Saquon, this elite running back with nothing around him. We have Daniel Jones, the world's most okayest quarterback, but he has no weapons, so he looks like 10 times worse. So now they built around that. They got themselves a little bit of an offensive line. They have arguably a top 5 defense in the NFL, arguably. And now you have Russell Wilson starting out the season for you, who, like you said, is a shell of his former self, but is going to be a serviceable quarterback. And then you got the next Peyton Manning waiting in the wings for you. So I think the Giants they're probably in a better spot than the Jets, if we're being completely honest, but we'll see. I do think the Maras suck more than
no,
you don't think so?
The Johnsons are worse, but
yeah.
But I mean, they're both bad. Like they're both 2 really ugly chicks. It's just like what do you value less? You know, or what do you value more, right? Like, but they're both not prom queens. Commanders are in a good situation. Like I said, Commanders should win this game. If you're a Commanders fan, the expectation should be kind of in there till the end of the year to win your division. And yeah, I think if you're a Commanders fan, you should be thinking Super Bowl. I very much think that they have the oldest roster in football. I think they're viewing this as like, hey, this is a window to win right now, right? Russell Wilson won in year 2 of Seattle. Why can't we do it here with Jaden Daniels? They made a couple tough business decisions, trading away. Who they trade away? Robinson? was it? And
Wendell
they were
Robinson,
looking
yeah.
to trade McLaren, but then it didn't happen. So we'll see. Like I said, I would not feel comfortable betting on this game because I like if you were, I would sprinkle on Giants money line because
Yeah, why not?
I feel like they could
I
backdoor.
wonder what
Yeah.
are the odds there? Let's take a look.
I'll tell you right now. This is via ESPN Bet. Giants are plus 220. So if you've got like a dumb little, parlay that you throw $5 on, maybe with like a bonus on FanDuel or DraftKings.
6.5 point dogs. I actually love that.
I wouldn't take this. If you're taking this, though, I don't know that I would take the 6.5. I think I would take them outright as the winner because I think they're either winning this game or they're getting blown out. Or like if they lose, I guess you could say they lose on a last-minute field goal. Either way. Bengals, Browns, not much there. Bengals are 5.5 point favorites. I guess that's right. Is Joe Flacco?
Joe Flacco started. Yeah, Joe Flacco is starting.
I don't know. Bengals have no defense. This is another game. The Browns could win this game and then, oh shit, I'm not even plugged into the fucking wall.
Browns aren't
take over.
Yeah, the Browns aren't winning this game. I'm just going to quickly poo-poo all over what he just said. The Browns will not win. The Browns will not win this game. The Bengals now, you saw it this year. They kind of figured out the problem here. And I'm a Bengals guy. I've always have been. I think Joe Burrow that's my guy. I'm a big fan of his. The problem was in Cincinnati that they always got through a slow start. I don't need to tell you that. We all knew that. Now, this year, Burrow, Chase, Chase Brown, everybody, all the starters played in the preseason in some capacity, whether from the start of the preseason, I'm talking week 1 preseason all the way through last week, they played at least a single drive, all the starters. And I think that got them into game shape. I think they are firing on all cylinders. I don't know if anybody's watched that quarterback show on Netflix for season 2 with Joe Burrow, but you get to kind of get a look into his mind. The guy's a competitor, and I think he knows what he needs to fix, and it's not all on him. It's his job, though, to be the general and just kind of
Joe Burrow?
Yeah, and just absolutely command that locker room into doing whatever. And the defense, I know you're shitting all over the defense here. The defense doesn't need to be,
no, but like you can't
curtain. You hold him to 17. Joe Burrow's going to put up 40. If you hold him to 17, Joe Burrow will win you that game, and that's
holding them to 17 is like a tough ask. Like it's hard to hold
21
to 20.
Whatever.
Yeah, the last year, what was it? Me and my buddy Chase were looking at it the other day. I think it was like 12 teams averaged holding teams to 22 a game. The Bengals were not one of them. So,
all right, well, never mind. But if the defense can do its job in some serviceable capacity, the offense will take care of the rest. That's it.
I mean, I think
let it be a dog race.
If you're a Bengals fan, I don't think you're looking for takeaways because that's probably not going to happen. You're just looking at hey, just get them to kick 2 or 3 field goals on these drives where they get into the red zone, and Joe Burrow should take care of the rest. 7 times out of 10. If this is a halfway decent defense, this is like a 13-win team. That's how good Joe Burrow is. That's how good this offense is. That's what I don't think Zach Taylor is that terrible of a head coach. I think who's ever making the personnel, which maybe that's Zach Taylor, I don't know who it is. If it's the GM, if it's ownership, but I know they're a notoriously cheap team, but just you can be cheap. It's just the way that you spend your money is just dumb. It's time and time and time again dumb. And I think this team could survive without T. Higgins. And they pretty much do it every year because T. Higgins is out for half the year, right? So, why are you valuing a guy like that? This isn't – I was thinking about this today. I'm going to go on a little tangent here. I was thinking about this today when I was reading some of the quotes of Micah Parsons leaving Dallas. And I think that was a move that was really good on both sides. And I'll explain to you why. I think the Cowboys are not winning anything anytime soon. I don't think they know that. but they're not winning anything anytime soon. They pumped a lot of money into the CD contract. They pumped a lot of money into the Dak contract. And to pay Micah all of that money it was not going to work there. And I think if you're the Packers, you could genuinely tell me that you're an edge rusher away from competing to win the division, competing to go to the Super Bowl. Like, I kind of do get that. I don't think you're that good because I don't think Jordan Love is that good. And I say this knowing full well Jordan Love might hang 300 yards and 4 touchdowns on the Lions defense tomorrow, and I'll have to eat this, which, you look at my stomach, I got no problem eating anything. But if I think it was a good deal on both sides, right? Because the Cowboys knew they weren't going to be able to re-sign him. I guess they didn't want to disgruntle him. They wanted to strike while the iron's hot. Another Mets home run. Let's go. And they got 2 first-round picks, and in my opinion, one of the top D tackles in the NFL. And as important as it is more important to have a great edge rusher than it is to have a great D tackle. I agree. But you're in a division where these teams run the ball. The Vikings run the ball. The Lions fucking run the ball. They've got a 2-headed monster. And if you think the Lions are not going to try to exploit that tomorrow, they're gonna. They're gonna, right? Because they're going to say, that's great. You got that edge rusher over there? That's great. We're going to pound it up the middle and see what you can do about it. And by the way, Micah Parsons doesn't play the run very well. So they're probably going to run at Micah Parsons too.
And he's hurt.
He's hurt. I don't know how hurt he is. I don't know if it's a smokescreen. Fact of the matter is I think it was a sound decision on both sides. I think the Cowboys got a very fair return in a top D tackle that they don't have to pay $50 million a year to, and 2 first-round picks, right? And even if those first-round picks, even if they're 32nd overall, you could still use them to trade up and get what you want to get in the first round. So I think that those were great. And bringing me back to the Bengals-Browns, I think the Bengals should have taken a page out of that book. And I think the Bengals should have traded T. Higgins. They should have that's the world the Bengals should have been in. If I'm the Bengals, if I could have gotten a first-round pick for T. Higgins, I would have jumped all over that. Because
you think he's worth a first-round pick, though?
I don't know, but I think teams severely overrate wide receivers. And I think there are teams that are like, you know what, fuck it. I'll trade for him. I'll sign him. We've got him for 5 years, and it's like we drafted a wide receiver in the first round. So that's how some teams that have a lot of liquid capital, with the cap, will look at things like that. So, that's the world I think the Bengals should have been in. They don't agree. And if they go to another, Super Bowl this year, then I'll eat my words, but I just don't think so. Raiders, Patriots, Pats are -2.5. I think the Raiders are going to they'll be better toward the end of the year with Pete Carroll running this, but I think the Pats got talent. I think
they got Vrabel. They got Vrabel. That's a big time get. I'll tell you what, though. I'll look you dead in the eye and tell you that they do not scare me. They don't scare me one bit.
I think they're going to beat you twice this year.
I disagree.
Okay.
I disagree.
Right.
I understand we lost to them in a fluke-ass game last year. We went 1-1, whatever. But I don't know. I think a lot of people are very high on them, and I understand why. They got a shiny running back committee there in the backfield, and I know Drake May is kind of proven I don't know, he's not fucking Tom Brady, but he's doing okay.
Yeah, solid.
And then you got Diggs, and I know they have a lot of setup, but
it's a good defense too.
Yeah,
it's a good defense. That's a real good line they have. Christian Gonzalez is out Sunday, so
yeah, he's not playing.
But
what about their offensive line though? That was their biggest problem last year.
Yeah, they got Will Campbell in the first round. I think Will Campbell's going to be a top tackle in the NFL, if not this year, years to come. Do you want to jump into Ravens Bills?
Yeah. Do you want to talk Lions Packers first?
No, a ramble for Lions Packers. So
okay. All right, we'll save it. Yeah, we'll talk Ravens Bills. Yeah, this is going to be a great game. And thinking back to what you said, it never crossed my mind until you said it when we kind of opened the show. It does suck. This isn't on December 10th. It kind of sucks pretty bad. I'm not going to lie. But
I think it's better week 1.
I
Yeah,
don't
give
know
us a
about
fucking
that.
bang. Give us a bang week 1.
Give us a
Instead of
bang.
some
You know what? I
sloppy-ass.
guess
Give us
there.
2 talented teams, 2 great quarterbacks, 2 guys that both had an argument to win MVP last year. Give us that matchup.
Yeah,
I think
I
it's great.
guess. And there's also plenty of these to go around too. You got Ravens Chiefs, Bills Chiefs, Ravens Bengals, and that's you get Ravens Bengals twice. You got Chiefs Bills. You know, there's a bunch of different these matchups. They're not going to be few and far between. They also did it last year too with the Chiefs and the Ravens week 2, right? Because that wasn't the Brazil game, or was that? No, it was week 2.
Brazil was week 1 last year.
Yeah. No, I'm saying Chiefs Ravens with the whole was he in, was he out? That was week 2. This game's gonna be awesome. I can't wait. Watched a little bit of Hard Knocks. Not their best season this year, but you know why Hard Knocks sucked this year is because the Bills are just too good. There's no, I watch Hard Knocks for development, training camp, and all that stuff, and you just know what's going to happen. Josh Allen is the man. He's so good at what he does. He has his weapons. He has 2 young receivers that I think do not get their deal in Khalil Shakir and who's the other one? Who's the other wideout for the Bills? God damn it! Hold on.
Coleman?
Yeah, Keon Coleman.
Is this the guy that couldn't read? Yeah, I think he's
it's Keon Coleman. Keon Coleman and Khalil Shakir are the 2 I was talking about. I think are 2 solid options for him to have. I think James Cook, he just re-signed, or not just re-signed, but re-signed in training camp.
Extension.
Yeah, he's
that
going.
Was big.
He was a great. I think you're going to see
another. I think James Cook is a very underrated running back in the NFL. I think he is.
He's not flashy. He's like Garrett Wilson. He's a lunch pail guy.
He is, and I think he's a guy that people talk about. Juan Soto just stole the base. Nice. Getting closer to 30-30. I think James Cook is a guy that people don't – like I've had this argument with people, a couple guys on my job site, that Derrick Henry's miles better and this guy's better. Like I think James Cook is like a top 3, top 5 running back in the NFL. Like – and he's got things around him that help him, but like so does Derrick Henry, so does Jahmyr Gibbs, so does Saquon Barkley. Like I love all of those guys. I think all of those guys are great, but like James Cook had a hell of a season last year. So go on, Jerry. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. And then you look at the other side of the ball here with the Ravens. The Ravens are the Ravens. You're getting the same song and dance that we have been getting with Derrick Henry. I want to say Derrick Henry's going to have just as good as the year he did last year, but I'm a little nervous. He's getting older, and I think the clock. If you look at the bucket of, and Will's not in the chat, so I'm gonna say this freely, thank God. But if you look at the bucket, if he gets it on the replay, I'm sorry, Will, but if you look at the bucket of 5 good teams in the NFL, you got I'm gonna throw the Bengals in there. I know you're gonna shit on that. Bengals, Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, and I'd say maybe you guys, I don't know who you want to make that 5th team. That's up to interpretation.
Eagles, Vikings.
Yeah. You could say the Eagles, not the Vikings. Fuck the Vikings.
Fuck the Vikings, but
probably
the best head coach in football.
Best head coach, not best team. You got a fucking JV. You got a JV football player throwing balls to Justin Jefferson this year. Whatever. But in my opinion, I think the clock is ticking the hardest on the Ravens here. As far as those 5 teams go, I think the Ravens are the ones who are most on borrowed time. And it pains me to say it. But the thing is, though, it's not going to matter because the Ravens have sustained success for decades now. And they'll find a way and get it back. It's all about the culture there. It's it's a better version of Pittsburgh, in that regard, where it's just like, we'll do this, but we're gonna win. And by win, I mean make the playoffs and go on runs and have MVPs, but not win. But who knows?
I don't. Trying to see the connection you're making here with the Steelers.
Just overall culture, and just walking in like Harbaugh is gonna
similar. Okay, yeah. Tomlin's a guy that's been there a while.
Yeah,
Harbaugh's a guy that's been there a while.
I believe they are the 2 most tenured coaches in the NFL.
Yeah.
Not positive
definitely.
about that, but I believe that's the
definitely.
case.
No, they are. The Ravens are weird. The Ravens are, I think they have like 2nd best odds to win the Super Bowl this year. And you just know it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You feel like it's not going to happen. I I think if you're looking at the NFL season this year and like who's got something to prove, and I think it's Lamar Jackson, right? Like, you know, we do it a lot on this show. We make these excuses. I know some of like I know in years past that his pass catchers have failed him, and I know last year guys like who's the tight end in Baltimore?
Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews fumbled. Like that was so ugly.
That hurt. Yeah.
But you know what? Like Lamar, you turned the ball over twice in that game. Like that's shit you can't do in a playoff game. And I'll tell you as a Lions fan, I watched Jared Goff throw 4 picks in the divisional round. Like, yeah, that was ugly too. So, but what does Jared Goff have? Jared Goff's been to a Super Bowl. He's been to an NFC Championship. Never won an MVP. He's been in the conversation. Never won. So, has Lamar had the better career in a sense? Yeah, I guess.
Without a doubt.
But like, man, Lamar, like it's time to do it, right? Like it's time to, as much as I shit on Aaron Rodgers, like this guy put the team on his back quite a bit in Green Bay and overcame things. And like, it's hard to overcome when your tight end fumbles the ball in the end of the game. Okay. But maybe if you didn't fumble, maybe if you didn't throw whatever, I don't know if he had I think he had a pick and a fumble in that game. I know he had 2 turnovers. Like, complain about Mark Andrews all you want. You can't turn the fucking ball over. Like that's not in that moment. Not when you're playing the Bills.
Critical moment.
What was it, the Bills? I think it was the Bills.
It was the Bills.
It was the Bills, right? Like you can't give Josh Allen another chance. You can't fucking do that. So if there's anybody in the NFL that has something to like Ravens fans, stop bitching about the MVP award, stop bitching about playoff seeding, stop bitching about your division. You're a franchise that was like a no nonsense show up and be, like you were the like one of the thorns in the Patriots dynasty. You were one of the thorns on their side for a while. And yes, did they get the better of you more times than not? Sure. But like, okay, you were playing Tom Brady, right? And you won 2 in that time. Well, kind of 2, right? Like, anyways, you won 2. That's more than most fans can say their team.
I'd give them 2. Yeah, I'd give them 2.
No, they did win 2. It's just like the 2000 was, I guess,
no, I'm saying one was they bookended them. One was at the beginning and one was towards the end. Yeah, I'll give them 2.
So like, if like the Ravens just like stop with the Lamar excuse. Like Lamar is great. We know he's great, but like you want to be better than Pat Mahomes. You want to be better than Joe Burrow. Get to the fucking dance. I mean, you don't even have to win, right? Like if the Ravens go to the Super Bowl and they lose to the Commanders, the Eagles, the Lions, the Vikings, they lose to one of those teams. It's like, well, yeah. That's a great team on the other side. And, you fought and you lost, and that's life. That's football. It's 1 game elimination. It's not the Stanley Cup playoffs where you got 7 games.
Yeah.
It's not the World Series. It's football. And, we saw it with the Giants. The 2 times the Giants won the Super Bowl in our generation, 2007, 2011, they were never the best team. They were wild
card teams both years.
No, they were not. They were.
They won the division.
2011, they won the division. But they were not good teams, but like they got hot when they needed to and they won. So if we're looking at the Ravens this year, like if you could say anything to that fan base, it's just go out and win. Like get the monster out of the closet. Like whatever the analogy, whatever the cliche is, just get the monkey off your back already, because it's been like 10 years of Lamar, and like in the beginning, I guess it has 10 years, and it's, in the beginning you could say, well, okay, he was young, or all right, his receivers didn't catch. Like, what, Lamar? Maybe you just got to be flawless, and that sucks. That sucks, man. That sucks. But you know what? Everybody else is dealing with it. Like the Eagles had the best O-line and Saquon Barkley that they could ride, and they were super lucky that there just happened to be a snowstorm the day the Rams were coming to town. All right. Like, and that's life. You play in an open air stadium. So you got to overcome it. Like, if you're Lamar, you got to overcome it.
Yeah.
You got to do it. You want your name. And I think Lamar's at a point where he's probably going to be in Canton. He's going to wear a Hall of Fame jacket.
I think so.
Sure. But like, you want people to genuinely compare you to Pat Mahomes, genuinely compare you to Aaron Rodgers. You gotta get to the dance. At least
something not a lot of people have addressed, at least in my circles, is the elephant in the room here. And there's a glaring hole in Baltimore as well. And it's the kicker. We don't have to get into what he did, but, the fact of the matter is that's a fucking gigantic loss. He was one of the best kickers for how many years? I understand now the kicker game has evolved to the point where Jake Bates is hitting 62-yarders like it's, a PAT, but, that's good. I want to see how
they're paying
that's
him a
going to
bag of peanuts to do it.
Yeah, I want to see how it's going to impact him. That's going to be you always knew that Justin Tucker was going to get you 3 points no matter where you were on that field north of the 50-yard line.
Keep in mind, Justin Tucker was the difference between the Ravens handing the Lions their first win of 2021. They were a winless team until December. They won. The Lions lost to the Ravens on like a 59-yard field goal of Justin Tucker. Like the Ravens, right? So, without that guy, I mean, to anybody that thinks that special teams is not important, doesn't affect it. No, it does, man. Special teams is really important. Like, I'll be honest with you. If you told me I could lose, knock on wood, if you told me I could lose my, kicker that's money, or I could lose my number one receiver, I'm going to lose my number one receiver because I could game plan for not having my receiver. I can game plan for getting the ball into the red zone. What I can't game plan for is kicking a field goal, 52 yards out with 3 seconds left. I can't game plan for that. And Justin Tucker was that guy for a long time in Baltimore, and that's not the case anymore. Crazy. That's a crazy story.
Yeah.
I think right now it's just allegations against him. So
oh yeah, I don't
know. I'll be honest. I haven't done my homework on it. It doesn't look good. I don't. I guess it's more common than we all think with the massage therapist.
Yeah, I guess it kind of is.
I guess it's common. I don't have that kind of money, so I've never been in that world to say one or the other. But Jerry, I gotta pee before I get into Lions Packers.
Okay.
So if you want to jump on something, give me a minute.
Sure. Okay. Let's look at the board right here. All right. You know what we'll do? We'll do a little. Jerry's Corner was an idea that I decided. I thought about throwing around, but I didn't do it. I was just gonna do a little quick show on Sunday morning since we moved the show to Saturday nights now. Just about bets and fantasy and everything. So going down the board, I got the FanDuel sports book open here. Not sponsored, yet, but would love to be. So send us that check, FanDuel. Like we talked about, the Giants are 6.5 point dogs against the Commanders, plus 215 on the money line, which is not a bad play. I just got a text from a friend of mine saying that the hungry dog pick of the week is going to be Jets, Seahawks, Bears. Bears play on Monday night, so I don't love throwing a Monday night game on your Sunday card, but this might come as a shock to everybody here, but I'm a fan of the Jets tomorrow, so much so that I might even reverse the spread and buy them minus 2.5, just as a big FU to number 8 or number 12, whatever number he's wearing in black and gold. I don't know. So you look at that game, and then you look at the Seahawks game. Where are we? Seahawks 49ers. I don't like that pick. I understand it's going to be different, and you're looking at a rebirth of Sam Darnold, and there's a lot going on there. But the fact of the matter is Kenneth Walker isn't – I don't think he's an elite enough running back to carry that. I know they have JSN, but who else is there to catch the ball? And then you also have to deal with Sam Darnold. We know who Sam Darnold is. I know there was a facade, under Kevin O'Connell's reign last year where he just ran rampant across the NFL and won like 12, 13 games, whatever it was. But, as a Jet fan, maybe I'm just still scorned from wasting a number one pick on him, but I know what Sam Darnold is, and he is not a winning quarterback. So I'm going to stay away from that.
I think that was a dumb contract. I thought
the Seahawks one, yeah.
I thought going from Geno, I thought that was a very lateral move, Geno to Sam.
100%.
I don't think that you're not getting an upgrade, and you already signed Geno, and he's already in your building. So
there was no reason why they shouldn't have kept him around. There's zero reason.
If you were gonna do anything, you trade Geno for picks at the height, and you suck it up that you're bad, and then you trade up in the draft to get the quarterback that you want. And I know it's hard, man. It's really hard developing these quarterbacks that are coming out of college. Some of these guys never going under center. I get it.
They don't even know how to give a hard count. That's the thing. I think Facino, it was either you or Facino who said it best. I think it might have been you. These college quarterbacks now, especially with the transfer portal, it's not, you don't go to develop to become a player on Sundays. You are now going to be a professional football player at the collegiate level. You're basically a minor leaguer, and that's it. You're getting paid, I wouldn't say major league bucks to you and I, but fucking pennies to the guys who play on Sunday. But it's not the same game, especially when it comes to quarterbacks specifically. You wide receivers, running backs, that's whatever. But with quarterbacks, and I think that's why we haven't seen a solid quarterback in 2-3 classes, give or take.
Well, Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a ridiculous thing. The minute that came out of my mouth, that was a bad
no,
take.
but you're right.
Because, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
When we were growing up, you had 2, 3, 4 guys in every class that you looked at and said, okay, maybe this guy could be good. Maybe there's something there. I mean, we did have Bo Nix last year. Bo Nix kind of he definitely showed something. He was a lot better than I thought. But
people are high on Bo Nix this year.
I would be too. I like what I see. I don't think he'll ever be a number one quarterback in the NFL. In fact, I know he won't. But that's a guy that he could win a fucking Super Bowl. I mean, shit, Eli Manning did, and Eli was mediocre his entire career, and Eli did it twice. So there's nothing telling me that a guy like Bo Nix can't do it. He's clearly somebody that people like to rally around, but it is harder. It is harder because offenses are watered down in college. And I don't blame these coaches because they're hired to win. They're not hired to develop the next Drew Brees. They're hired to win games. They're hired to bring in money and bring in recruits. And it's not about developing a program. It's not about developing a fucking quarterback.
About winning now.
It's about winning right now. And I don't blame the colleges. I don't this is just what it is. This is the world we live in. It's the NIL. And for all of you that are complaining about the NIL, I hate to break this to you. It's been going on this whole time. It was just going on under the table.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
if you think Peyton Manning didn't get a paycheck from someone at Tennessee, maybe not a staff member, but someone who had something to do with the program, aka a booster, if you think Peyton's family wasn't taken care of, if you think Eli's family, if you think Matt Stafford's family, all this was going on. It just wasn't out in the open, and the NIL has made things out in the open. And is it, it's not to get political, but it's the way I talk about capitalism. Is it the best economic system in the world that's ever been thought of? Maybe it's not, but it's the best that we have. Okay, that's what it is. That's the NIL. It's the best situation we've got so far. We don't want to go back to the world of Alabama and Texas and Oklahoma paying people under the table and SMU genuinely having no shot. I mean, let's all be real here. Do we all really want to go back to a BCS national championship? No.
It's not. It's nice to have. It's an open race now. It's nice.
It is. And
look at fucking USF. They just beat Florida today.
And I get the old school college football fans that don't like this. I do get it. I do get it. But this is the world we're in. I think they're on the right track. Are they going about it the best way? Maybe not. But had the NCAA not been so fucking greedy, we wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah.
Right? Had the NCAA actually treated this like adults and not like kids, we wouldn't be here. Okay? The NCAA I'm not even getting into it. This is an NFL show.
Yes, it is. We talk about men, not boys. Let's talk about the Lions. Hit me.
We don't talk about we don't diddle the kids.
Nope.
We don't diddle the kids. Lions Packers. So looks like the line dropped again. Line opened up at 1.5. Packers are home. It jumped up to 2.5.
It's sitting at 2.5 on FanDuel right now.
Okay, ESPN Bet has them at 1.5. They were at 2.5 on ESPN Bet a couple days ago. A day ago, actually. Yeah, I was at work. So something to look at. Maybe something's going on with that epidural. I don't think Micah is going to play a full game. It just wouldn't make sense. He just got here, and now he's hurt, or something's going on. This game could genuinely go either way. You got something, Jerry?
No. It's a divisional game. This is a big game for, but just like we were talking about, coming out of the game, punching you right in the mouth.
We're looking at the Packers have not lost a Week 1 game. I want to say for 12 years. Is it 12 years straight?
Really?
8 years straight. They have the longest running opening day win streak. And the Lions haven't lost a game in Lambeau since 2021.
The turn of the tide game. Rodgers' last game, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
2022 is his last one. Last year ended with Kirby Joseph picking pick six on Jordan Love. So it's two streaks here. One of them's got to end. Where am I here? I don't know where I am. It's Week 1. Either way, and I guess I have this opinion of a lot of games. Either way, it wouldn't shock me. I guess right now, I'm going to take the Lions. I'm going to take the Lions offensive line against Micah Parsons. I don't think Micah, like I said, I think you'll see Micah on the field third and long. I think you'll see him on the field here and there on 1st and 10, depending on what packages the Lions throw out there. The biggest loss, I think even bigger than losing Ben Johnson, bigger than losing Aaron Glenn, Frank Ragnow retired 8 weeks ago. That was really big. He's a top 3 center, was a top 3, top 2 center in the NFL. It's a shock to me that he did it in July or June. Was not a shock that he was going to retire. I think it became fairly obvious after 2023 with that lingering foot issue that, it was not something that was going to go away. He was going to have to deal with it the rest of his career. He left some money on the table to retire, but it didn't shock me. And I think you kind of saw this with the Lions in the draft where they took 2 offensive linemen this year. They took 2 offensive linemen the year before. They've been trying to kind of find a cheaper, less capital-driven way of his replacement, without losing out in the first round. And I think they did that with Tate Ratledge. I think he'll fill in really good at right guard. They're putting a lot here with Christian Mahogany at I think Tate's going to play right guard, and I believe Mahogany's going to be at left guard. And Grant Glasgow is going to be the starting center. It's going to be a different look offensive line. I don't think you'll see the Lions with another top 2, top 3, top 4 offensive line. I think they're going to come back a little bit. But if they could just give Jared time, and I think they're going to have to rely heavily on the run game. They're going to have to find a way to – I know the run was like their bread and butter, but they were really passing it well last year. I think it's going to be a little bit of the opposite. They're going to have to really grind out the yards. They're not going to be scoring 50 points in a game. That I don't think you'll see that this year. I don't think you'll see them win 15 games. I don't think you'll see them win 13 games. I think they're a 10 to 12 win team.
You think they'll win the division?
I really don't know. I want to see what JJ McCarthy looks like. If JJ is as bad as you think he's going to be, then I think they could. If JJ is what I think he can be, then no, I think the Vikings win. Gun to my head, I think the Vikings could win. So right now, week 1, I'm going to take the Lions. They're my team, but it wouldn't shock me if Green Bay wins. I think right now we've got clear weather. It's going to be, I think, like mid-70s tomorrow, sunny in Green Bay. Right? Let me open up the app here. 0% precipitation, no wind. So it's going to be an ideal scenario. And I always say he'd rather play in Green Bay in September
Now than 100%.
than December. So it's not a must win. No game week 1 is a must win, but man, do you feel a lot better playing your home opener next week, being 1-0 as opposed to 0-1. And I think you'll have a little more moxie, a little more confidence going up against your ex-offensive coordinator next week if you're 1-0. So, the only thing I'll say about Micah Parsons, I feel really good about Penei Sewell head-to-head with Micah. I think Penei can hold his own. Although I don't think they're going to line up Micah over Penei Sewell. I think they're going to line up Micah over Taylor Decker. Naturally, Taylor Decker is like 10 years older. He is not as good as Penei Sewell. He is not as big. He is not as physical. He is not as strong. And, 3rd and 10, I think you'll see Micah coming from the backside, which I think the Lions will be prepared for. And if that means you have to punt, if that means that you've got to tell Jared, hey, you got to check down. Like, you're not going to have the time that you want to have. If that means that the Lions have to run the ball on 3rd and 8, then do that. Because the last thing you wanted, in the games that we've felt shaky against Green Bay in the past 3 years, it's been turnovers. Thanksgiving 2 years ago, we lost because Jared Goff turned the ball over 3 or 4 times. We cannot turn the ball over. You cannot give – I don't think Jordan Love is that great, but you can't give the Packers offense another chance on offense, especially in Lambeau. We've seen the way the Zebras pull when we're in Lambeau. We've seen it time and time again. So don't give them another chance. Don't turn the ball over. If you could find a way to get into Jordan Love's head, get him to throw a pick, whoever wins the turnover battle of this game wins the game. That's where I'm at. However that may be, that's where I'm at.
What do you think about the defense? Your defense.
What about it?
Where are you standing with that as far as, I guess, confidence goes and whatnot? Aiden Hutchinson's going to come back. All those injuries have corrected. I don't want to say corrected themselves, but healed, for lack of a better term. Madison,
on
right?
Aiden or on the whole defense?
I'm just saying across the board.
No, we're still missing guys.
Oh yeah,
Ole McNeil tore his ACL. That was our guy. That was our D tackle. He tore his ACL against the Bills like December 4th. So if we get him back around Thanksgiving, the week before Thanksgiving, that would be good. Aiden's going to be a full go. I think you're going to see a lot of Aiden because there's only 3 DN. There's only 3 edge rushers. There's only 3 DNs on this roster. Marcus Davenport, Aiden Hutchinson, and I don't know who the third guy is. I think it's going to be a lot of rush by committee, and that's not what you really want to see, but it's what they've got. It would have been nice to get Zadarius Smith. The Eagles signed him. It seemed like there was an issue with the Lions and Zadarius on money and playing in training camp and whatnot. So that's neither here nor there. Zadarius is now an Eagle. With this defense, I feel good about the defense. I don't feel great about the defense. Like I don't think it'll be a dominant defense. I just want to see a better defense come week 15, week 16, week 17. And that's really what I want to see about this Lions team. Like, I want to see them win the division, but just like I'm at the point of getting the playoffs because we could win on the road, get in the playoffs, and be a significantly better team in December. And I know I said this about the Jets, but in the Jets, it's just an idea of progress. With the Lions, it's like, hey, you just need to be in the dance, right? Like you could win on the road. You did it in 23. You could do it this year. I don't think winning the division is the most important. It would be great to win it 3 years in a row, but it's not the most important thing. Most
No.
important thing is getting to the dance and being significantly better and being healthier, right? Like, come the playoffs last year, the Lions had 18 guys on their defense on IR.
Yeah.
There's never been a team that won the Super Bowl with 18 guys on their defense on injured reserve. It's just for reference, that's your starting 11 and 7 other backups. So, like, you've never seen that. Like, why did the Lions lose the first round last year? Did Ben Johnson have 1 foot out of the door? Yeah. Did Jared Goff throw 4 picks? Yeah, that's probably why we lost. You know why you know why else we lost? We gave up 40-something points to the Commanders.
Yeah.
We had 18 guys out. You know, I want to see this team healthy in December. And if they're healthy and they're a 10, 11 win team, I think 11 wins gets you that last wild card spot in the NFC. The NFC is going to be tight. So I think,
dude, a wild card spot might give you a more favorable matchup compared to winning the division. We saw it last year in a couple different matchups in that first round. So you got that going for you.
I mean, yeah, but the team that won the Super Bowl was the number 2 team in the NFL or in the NFC. It was the Eagles. They were home field throughout. So at the end of the day, just get there. This is would be a really nice win to have. We're playing the Ravens week 3. That's usually week 3, week 4, week 5 is usually when shit comes together in Baltimore. So you'd like to go into Baltimore 2-0. And if you lose to Baltimore, you could say, yeah, that's Lamar Jackson. That's a guy that's won 2 MVPs. You know, they beat us. It is what it is. It's not going to affect the psyche of the team. You know, you lose this game to Green Bay. Now you're kind of playing with desperation in a way against Chicago. You're doing things you don't want to do. You're acting the way you don't want to act. You're in a position you haven't been in a long time. And that's really what it is. So for the most part, the Lions have handled the expectations well, but this year is when we're really going to see it. I mean, you just lost the best player this franchise has seen outside of Penei Sewell a long time and Frank Ragnow, and you just lost 2 coordinators. I mean, we saw that with the Eagles 4, 5, 6 years ago. They went to the Super Bowl. They lost. Or they won. No, they lost. And then they lost both their coordinators. That's really hard. It's really hard to overcome. I think the Lions will be able to overcome it. Like I said, though, they will not be a 15-win team. They won't be a 14-win. They probably won't be a 13-win team. My guess is...
But you don't think they're going to rebuild?
What do you mean rebuild?
Like, kind of...
There's too many guys under contract.
Yeah.
No. They're going for it, but it's just a matter of they're not going to be a 15-win team, and that's really hard to replicate. 15. They went 15-2. They lost. There were 17 regular season games. They lost 2 of them last year. Like, very hard thing to replicate, but you could win yourself 11 games and get into the playoffs and see what happens. So, you know, that's the number I want to see them get to. I think to win this division, if everybody kind of beats up on each other and, you know, someone loses a game to the Bears that they shouldn't, it may be 11 or 12 that wins this division, right? I mean, you've got like hard, you know, you've got a movable force.
Movable force meets movable
object meets an unstoppable force.
Yeah, that's it.
Right? Like that's the NFC North. I mean, the Packers, Lions, and Vikings are all there. So I think the winner of this division might not be 13, 14 wins. I think it's probably going to be 11, 12 on the high side.
It's going to be competitive across all 4 teams. You can watch the Bears kind of make a break for it this year too. It's going to be. I think that's.
Well, we'll see on Monday Night
Division of football. Yeah,
we'll see what they look like against the Vikings. And there was a lot of talk about Ben Johnson, so we'll see what that looks like. Jerry, do you have anything else on?
I'm good. I think we. Hold on. Oh, I'm coming, NyQuil. I'm coming, Hat Man. Don't worry. No, I think we're good here. I'm excited, man. I just want it to happen. I'm gonna go upstairs. Hopefully, Michigan can win this game, and then we're gonna sleep
Oh, what
soundly.
channel is that on?
ESPN.
ESPN. Put that on TV too. Okay. So that's it. We got nothing else here.
I'm good, baby.
Nothing else.
We'll see y'all next week. Thanks for joining us for 2 nights in a row of Sunday Days Media. I looked at last night as a dress rehearsal, and tonight was a real thing.
I don't know what the plan is for tomorrow. I don't know where we're going to be. Not tomorrow, for next week.
Okay.
We will have to figure that out in the group chat, but stay tuned to the socials. As always, we are going to post before we go live. And thank you all for tuning in. And enjoy your Sunday.
Yeah.
Let's go live.
We earned it. Jet the fuck up.
Let's go, Jets. Jet up. Jet up.